Okay, let's get the solutions to a couple of the challenges from the joining and aliasing page. So I'm going to go to the execute SQL, clear everything out here. The first challenge is to write a query that returns the genus, the species, and the weight of every individual captured at the site. So genus and species are in the species table. Weight is in the, weight is in the surveys table. So we're going to select, oops, should have some capitals. Select what do we want? Genus, so that's species.genus, species.species, and surveys.weight from surveys join species using species ID. So let me just double check. So we're getting these three fields, genus, species, and weight. We specify which tables those are coming out of. From the surveys table, joining to species, and we're going to do the join using the species ID field, which is in both tables. And there we have it. There are the weights. Quite a few missing values, I think, at the top. And as before, we don't get records where the species information was missing. Okay, so that was pretty good. Now we're going to do one more here. We're going to get we're going to combine a join with aggregate. So we're still going to do from surveys joining species, but now what we're doing is counting what do we want? We want a query that returns the number of genera of the animals caught in each plot in descending order. Okay, so we need to have select surveys dot plot and aggregate by counting number of genuses. And we need to aggregate one more thing. So we're going to group by plot ID. Oops. Surveys plot doesn't exist. So what will happen if I run this? I get an error because, let's see, no such column surveys dot plot. Because it's not called that, it's called plot ID. There we go. So this should have 24 rows. And there they are, 24 rows. Starting with plot number 1 up to plot number 24. Now that doesn't look quite right. Because I'm pretty sure there aren't 19,000 genera in our species table. There's only 54 different species, so we haven't quite got the result we want yet. So let's see. Let's try count star. That's going to tell me how many rows there are. Grouping by plot ID. So that's still not quite right. What I need, maybe I need to do not just plot ID, but also genus. I don't need to show the genus. I just need to count how many rows, if I group by. No, that still hasn't worked. So now I've got, for plot ID, I've got that many. It's an interesting problem. Okay, so clearly adding group by genus was not the right answer down there. So what I'm going to do instead is try adding the distinct keyword up here. So if I'm right, this should do this is still not going to work. Species, because what I'm going to have to do there is do species genus. Well, let me just try this. I'm pretty sure the distinct is not going to help. Yeah, that's still giving me the total number of rows. It's not summarizing by the different genera. I need some kind of aggregation. So if I put, let's try this here. So if I put genus here, that gives me maybe that's the trick. Count genus. Boy, this is a hard one. Okay, that took me a little bit longer to figure out how to do that than I expected. So it's a pretty challenging one. So here's the, let me walk through it though. So here's the SQL statement we had before. So we're getting plot ID and the count. This doesn't have to be genus, actually. This should just be the count of the number of rows. From surveys joined to species using species ID and grouped by plot ID. Now, this is part of the solution, so we need to also group by genus. Right, and that doesn't get what we want. Now what we have is one row for each genus, but it's still giving us the count of those records. So what we'd really like to do is aggregate this one more time. Right, we really want to count the number of rows in this output. So the way that we do that is we're going to turn this into an SQL view. Oops, create view, and I'm going to call it plot genus as. Right, so I'm saving this query and giving it a name. So here it is under the views table, plot genus. If I browse and search that, now I get my results. And now what I'm going to do is create an SQL query that uses that view as the source of the data. So now I'm going to do select plot ID and count, count star from plot underscore genus. So you can use another query, or the results of another query, as the input to a query. Plot genus, and now I just need to do, group by plot ID. And there I have the results that I was looking for. Now I've got 24 rows, one for each plot, and it's counting the genera. So I'm going to give that a name as genera. That's better. And so they range from 13 in plot 4 up to, looks like 19 is the maximum. 19 different genera. Boy, that was a bit more challenging than I expected.